kind of an interesting day, and let's head to Beantown for Charles Moskowitz and, of course, Las Vegas with Mr. Mike King. Good morning, guys.
Oh, good morning.
How are things going?
Well, we have a big jump in the markets this morning as the Russian president recalled his troops.
Oh, what about that, huh?
Yeah,
apparently, what? He didn't like the concept of the blockade of oil and all the other stuff that Europe was going to pull off? Interesting. Is all this about oil?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I mean, clearly oil and natural gas is the big issue, certainly in the middle of the winter.
Yep.
But I think that Mr. Putin would like to, re-annex a bunch of places, and, he clearly is a thug, and he's not to be trusted.
Yeah, just put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I mean, what's really amazing is how quickly all of the, quote, good feeling of the Olympics disappeared, overnight.
The what? Oh, yeah.
The feel-good effect.
Well, Carol kind of hit it on the head when she thought it was a little weird that we sent no one to the Olympics on the diplomatic side. I mean,
didn't we send Susan Rice?
Susan Rice. She was.
No, we did send somebody, an ambassador to something or other. Clearly nobody big.
Yeah, but I mean, that's normally what, a first lady or secretary of state or something like that. I mean, that's always somebody big. President doesn't go very often, but I mean, or Joe Biden. Either way, that wouldn't be a major loss. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of intriguing. But it's and it was very interesting. I forget who it was that we were watching. It may have been Fox that did this track of stuff that Russia pulls off either before or right after an Olympic Games, and this goes all the way back to 1980. I mean, and it's really amazing. And it seems like it's every Olympic game something happens in their republic. It's very weird, just very strange.
Because it's good cover.
Yeah, you're right. It is good cover.
I mean, everybody's looking at something else. Misdirection.
That's right. You got that right.
Anyway, anything that has the name power in it is dramatically higher here yesterday, the last couple of days, and today. Plug Power, which is kind of a little company traded at $3-4 at a clip, is now up $1 and change at $6.20. All of these little ones that nobody really notices are all coming to life. Hopefully, that is not that's not the sign of a top, but that tends to happen towards the end of fairly strong market runs. Although in this case, there's so much news in that arena that it doesn't feel like, that they're just looking for the ones that haven't moved so that they can move them, which would kind of be a bad sign. But interesting story today. We forget, being here in the U.S., we forget how small a place Europe is. Elon Musk has a new supercharged power that now he has said, basically, I guess there's an auto show somewhere in Europe, and basically you'll be able to take a Tesla anywhere in Europe on a charge.
Well, yeah, but isn't that basically the size of New England?
Well,
I mean, if you think about it, it's no, that sounds good.
I mean, we just have this concept of what it takes to travel.
Right.
And
no,
clearly it's U.S. centric,
yep,
as opposed to understanding. I mean, I went to Europe when I was a kid, and I hop on a train and go from, Barcelona to Morocco or to, the bottom of Spain, and, over to Nice, and you do it overnight. So, I mean, it's...
Sure.
It's a whole different, not to find a point on it, but it is an entirely different world and way of life over there.
By the way, I have to tell you, Charles, that I do have a major apology for you.
Okay.
And that is calling your BlackBerry a worthless utensil.
Yeah.
Apparently, they, according to CNBC, they've exploded from the low of $5.44 in December to nearly $11.
Yeah, I saw it go by a little while ago at $9 and change. But yes, I guess there are plenty of, we'll call them independent agencies, that are using it because of the
security,
the tremendous security issue.
Independent agency? You mean CIA?
Well,
NSA. Oh,
NATO. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I understand.
When they're in Crimea, they want to be able to talk to those people. Yeah.
You're bad. You are bad.
No, but it's true. I mean, they are kind of reinventing themselves. I mean, if you want to look at, the worst companies that have been dramatically beaten up for their extreme failures, take a look at J.C. Penney at $8.50.
Compared to what?
Well, it was under $5.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. They got beaten up at Christmas, though, right? I mean, they had a disappointing Christmas.
Yeah. Well, their biggest positive there, and clearly I don't think it's a positive, but you can only have 30% declines and losses year over year until you run into a comp that you can easily beat just by being down only 4%.
Right.
So
interesting.
But the market's up 195, and the S&P is up 22 and change, and the market seems off to the races. The one thing that did not give up what it gained, it gave up some of it, but the gold was up about 28 or 30, and it's down 14 or 13.80 right now.
Yeah.
The silver wasn't really up all that much. It was up, 40 or 50 cents. And that's about what it's down right now. Not 40 or 50, but, certainly 35. And, this market just wants to go higher.
Yeah. Wow.
Oil down $1.50.
Yeah, I noticed that. Brent crude is also down as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed that. And speaking of, like, foreign countries and cell phones for foreign countries and stuff, Detroit agreed to pay $77.6 million to UBS and Bank of America's Merrill Lynch unit. And basically, this settlement, which I think is interesting, and it was because of the city's bankruptcy, the settlement is going to be 70% less because these banks, are killing all the bank fees and all the other stuff for all this pension rigmarole that Detroit's going through. So anyway, I thought that was.
I thought that they were just overdraw charges.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yep. Yeah, right.
Well, Charles, you bought the Kinder Morgans yesterday.
I did.
The KMT.
And it's I really like.
So why did you
buy
like
the industry? I like the industry. The stock is down, and internally it's looking much, much stronger. And clearly, there's a fair amount of energy-related news. I don't necessarily think. Well, technically, it looks to me like the oil could be, 115, 120. So Kinder Morgan is a tremendous company, and really operated well.
A great selection yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, now, what Kinder Morgan is what then? A refiner or an actual oil company or what?
Pipeline.
Pipelines, okay.
Yep.
Okay.